In this opportunity, we will talk about emotional intelligence, which refers to the psychological abilities and skills that involve the feeling, understanding, control, and modification, or both, or others' emotions. An emotionally intelligent person will be one who is capable of successfully managing emotions to achieve positive results in their relationships with others, which is why we believe that this is of great importance in the workplace. And about emotional intelligence timeline, we have Edward Thorndike, that he's talked about in 1920 about social intelligence, and in 1940, David Wechsler, that he's talked about non-intellectual factors, and in 1983, we have Howard Gardner, and he's talked about multiple intelligence, and finally, in 1995, we have Daniel Goleman talk about emotional intelligence. What is the difference about IQ and EQ? IQ, it is the ability to solve problems, use logic, and grasp or communicate complex ideas. That includes concentration, comprehension, analytical skills, multi-talent, memory, and focus. And EQ is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, and empathize with others, overcome challenge, and diffuse conflict. That includes self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, social skills, and perseverance.
Now, about the emotional intelligence, what is an emotion? An emotion is a feeling such as happiness, love, fear, anger, or hatred, which can be used by the situation that you are in or the people you are with. This is include 55% of thoughts and 45% of behaviors. Thoughts is an idea or opinion produced by thinking or occurring suddenly in the mind. And behaviors is the way in which one acts or conducts oneself, especially towards others. This is important for to adapt or to accomplishment goals. Next, please. How does it work, the emotional intelligence? The emotional intelligence works by the limbic system. The limbic system is a set of the brain structures that respond to certain environmental stimulates, producing emotional response, such as fear, joy, anger, or sadness. This is include the thalamus and the amygdala. The thalamus is responsible for sending message from the sensory organs, such as the eyes, ears, nose, and fingers, to the cerebral cortex. And the amygdala is a kind of emergency button in our brain if we approach by imminent danger. And this nucleus activates signal is immediately forwarded to the rest of the body. This is important for the emotional response. About the emotion regulation system, we have three items like rest system, that this include the achieve goals, consume, and get things done. And the second one is shooting system. The first point is slow down, rest, and digest, and care. And the last one is the manage threat system that include manage threats, protections, and survives. Next. Then we have 5 case emotional intelligence skills in the scale from 1 to 5. One of them is awareness in the number 1. The second one is empathy. And the third one is regulation. The fourth one is social. And the fifth one is motivation. Two of the most important case of emotional intelligence skill is awareness, that is realizing what a person feels and perceives from related to get in touch with oneself. And the last one is motivation, and that is what explains why people or animals start, continue, or stop a certain behavior at a certain time. Next, please.
Then we have the percent of the emotional intelligence, which is 40% of empathy, which is the ability to emotional understand what other feel, see from the other point of view, and imagine yourself in their place. 30% of self-awareness, which is the ability to focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, or emotions do or align with your internal standards. 20% of self-motivation, which is the ability to drive oneself to take initiative or action to pursue goals and complete tasks. And 10% of resilience, which is the ability to withstand adversity and bounce back from the difficult life events. What areas is emotional intelligence involved in? This is how your emotional intelligence affect your life, which we have 5 points, which the first one is your performance at work, your physical health, your mental health, your relationships, and your social intelligence. Here we have 5 tips to increase your emotional intelligence, which we have some questions that you can ask yourself, such as for self-awareness, like what am I feeling right now? In empathy, we have what is the other person feeling right now? In self-regulation, we have what can I do to control my emotions? In social skills, we have how can I interest in this person? And in motivation, we have is it easy or difficult, and why?
Okay, I talk about interpersonal triangle model. The EQ triangle model, there are 3 areas of personal skills or competence in emotional intelligence. In the first area, we have a new yourself, and it is emotional literacy and recognize patterns. In the second area, we have a give yourself. It is increase empathy and pursue novel goals. In the third area, we have a choose yourself, and it's be consequential and be optimistic. I talk about emotional intelligence at workplace and how to improve organizational EQ. In order to rule EQ and become emotionally healthy, you must reconnect to your core emotions, accept them, and become comfortable with them. And the first is employees. And employees, we have developed our EQ and seek support, be open, and be cooperative. In the second is the leaders. In the leaders, we have encourage expression, foster positive climate, open doors policy, and develop our EQ. Finally, in organization, we have integrate EQ in training, EQ test in recruitment, and reward EQ, and develop EQ.
Okay, now we know about the 5 skills, key skills. The number 5 is motivation. For the first, self-management, we have a method, the stress management. You need to understand you can change something, you need to accept. After that, you need try to control the next event like this. You have it. Other is keep a positive attitude. This help you like in different environments. Trying to control what you feel. Of course, it's impossible, but you can try it. Like Goleman said, if you smile, you feel happy. Yeah, it's like this. And self-awareness, mindfulness, you need understand the situation, understand what you feel, understand what are you doing, what the problem you have in that moment you have, and try to take control and their awareness, mindfulness, and understand the event, and probably after that you have different positions about that, and you can understand in the future what happened there. And social awareness, you have effective communication. It's not just say the words, is how you do it, and how you present the letters for other persons, how you can, how react you can find to the others. For the reason you need have effective communications, always be empathy, with empathy and respect to the others, to have it. Finally, we have the relationship management. Empathy is understand the others, feelings the others. Every person is really different, and we need have tolerance, and we need to respect different positions. After that, to maintain good emotional intelligence, we present the following hacks: be optimistic, be grateful, avoid anger, and check your emotions. Thank you. Yeah,